I always try to tell people, World War III has already started. World War III is the war between men and women.
You won't see the loved ones of Police Sergeant Elaine Williams killed by the man she lived with, but you will hear their pain. We weren't allowed to shoot their faces in court. They think justice was absolutely denied. We want to warn you, some of this is difficult to listen to.
He ain't nothing but a piece of crap, and he knows it. He shot our daughter in the back.
Eddie Ray Johnson Jr. sat in the courtroom Friday, listening to the people who loved Elaine Williams speak for her, speak for their pain, and speak for the justice they believe they were denied.
And you stole her from us. And it's not fair that this system has no justice. Because now this leaves a gateway for other people to think that they can murder a police officer, a mom, and they can just walk the world on probation. How is that fair? How is that justice?
Back in 2019, Johnson was charged in connection with the fatal shooting of Elaine Williams, a Detroit Police Sgt. Prosecutors say neighbors heard Williams and Johnson arguing and then gunshots. Eventually, they would also see Johnson leave the couple's home, apparently shot. Williams' son remembers that day.
I waited for the police. They carried me out, and I opened both of my eyes, and I seen blood all over the scene.
According to investigators, both Johnson and Williams had been drinking. Their blood alcohol levels found to be above the legal limit. Shell casings, apparently fired from Williams' police-issued gun, were also discovered. Johnson said he shot Williams after they fought, telling investigators she shot him first. Because of all this, the prosecutor offered Johnson a plea deal. No jail time.
This is a bunch of crap. Shot in the back of the head 4 times. That's an execution. That ain't no damn self-defense.
The system has failed us. The system has failed this family. The system has failed the community.
As part of the deal, Johnson entered a plea of no contest to manslaughter, 3 years probation. The felony firearm charge was dismissed.
What am I missing? A sergeant for the police department? Isn't the police the right hand of the prosecutor's office? You would have thought that alone would have been enough motivation to try this case. But we forget prosecutors really love to win. So instead of fighting for real justice, Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy is going to let a killer walk the streets on probation just so she can maintain her conviction rate. If you're like me and you've been in a relationship that was so toxic that the courts had to get involved, then you know how terrible the courts are when it comes to DV situations. They'll allow an abuser to put a restraining order on their victim. Just putting a common sense lens on this case, Johnson claims the victim, who was a police sergeant, fired first. That just doesn't add up. Officers have to regularly qualify their service weapons. If the victim fired first, then Johnson wouldn't be around to tell his side of the story. The other details of this case are beyond troubling. As the story goes, the victim and Johnson lived together along with their 2 sons. The couple did not have any children together. In a move that screams premeditation, Johnson removes his son from the home and takes him to a location nearby right before this incident. If you've been the man of the house and supposedly you're trying to shield children from an argument between 2 adults, then you will pull both children out of the home. Again, when you only give consideration to cases you can win, you don't even take the time to do any critical thinking. What if Johnson is lying? That would mean he's diabolical. That would mean he executed that poor woman, shooting her 4 times in the back of the head and then shot himself to confuse investigators. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to cross paths with old Eddie Ray at happy hour.